Welcome back into our coverage of the ACC kickoff here in Charlotte. Our final report for the day, and is with our old friend Tony Elliott, head coach at Virginia, the former Clemson wide receiver and offensive coordinator going into his third year with the Cavaliers. I tell you what, his record is only 6-16, a 3-7, and a 3-9. But I really think you have to give him a pass on both of those two seasons. Remember, his first year of 2022, he had to deal with the tragedy of the shooting of some of his players, including some fatalities. And, that's tough to deal with. That's tough to get over. Who says how long it takes to get over something like that? And so they've been dealing with that. And they were very close last year in a lot of games. So you kind of give them a pass on the first 2 years. You kind of feel like Tony Elliott now going into year number 3 has got his style of football in place now with the Cavaliers. 16 starters are back, 8 on offense, 8 on defense. He believes they'll be much improved. They've got what he calls competing depth throughout his team. All starting offensive linemen are returning, so that's a bonus there. And he said the program's been really challenged the last 3 years, but he thinks they put down a solid foundation. You look at last year, they did beat North Carolina, and they did beat Duke. So they showed signs. And they lost 5 games by a touchdown or less. So they were right there. They only averaged 23 a game and allowed 34. So you know that Elliott wants to really jack up the offense this year. He's got 2 quarterbacks in Tony Muskett and Anthony Colomdre. And between them, they threw for 3,000 yards and 19 touchdowns last season. The returning leading rusher is Kobe Pace, the former Clemson Tiger, with 382 yards last year. They added Notre Dame transfer wide receiver Chris Tyree. That should help. They also added Clemson transfer tight end Sage Ennis. He should get some snaps. Another wide receiver who is back that will be big for them is Malachi Fields. 58 catches, 811 yards, and 5 touchdowns last season. And on defense, they added several transfers there, including former Clemson corner Malcolm Green, who they now list as a star linebacker. He's like 215 pounds. So another pickup from Clemson there by Tony Elliott. They also have back first-team All-ACC free safety Jonas Sanker. And so that'll help them on the back end of the defense. They do have a tough schedule. They play at Wake Forest. They'll be at Coastal Carolina, which, don't shake your head at that. Of course, they'll play at Clemson. They also play at Pitt. They will have Notre Dame and Virginia Tech also on the road. That's a tough road slate. They will have Louisville, North Carolina, and SMU among their home games. So difficult schedule for Virginia. A lot of people returning. Third year for Tony Elliott. He's going to want to really turn up that offense and have this team playing football in the image that he sees it playing in, which is very similar to what he learned while he was at Clemson. I think Virginia stands to be one of the most improved teams in the ACC this season. Certainly more than a 3-win team, probably going to at least double that, even against a tough schedule. I look for Virginia to go bowling this December.